Rav Grossman is Yerushalmi, coming from the Yeshivas like the Doshas in Yerushalayim. He walks into the space, he goes down, and he enters, and there's light, and there's people, and these kids, and the tattoos, and the whole thing. And he just starts speaking to people, and he spent hours speaking to these young people. Not a judgment in his eyes, no condescending, just being able to connect with Holy Soul. From there, he not only came and joined Migdal Ohr, he made Migdal Ohr one of the greatest orphanages in all of Israel, a place which brings children who perhaps would never have had a chance elsewhere to become part of society. The stories that you hear about Rav Grossman are only a tip of the iceberg of what's really happened. I'd like to share a personal story before we were here to hear Rav Grossman himself. Rav Grossman probably does not know this story, but this is a story that actually is looking at to me 7 years ago. In the summer, my sister, who lives in Yerushalayim, had a baby boy. Baruch Hashem, wonderful baby boy. He was born, everything was fine, thank God. And 2 days later, as they're about to leave the hospital in Yerushalayim, the nurse notices that something's not right. And she noticed something was really not right. And so she started having a flutter in her heart. She said, we were about to release this baby. I know, I can sense there's something wrong. And so she tries to run out to the hallway to call the mother, my sister, to the room, and she starts calling and she says, "We have to speak. There's something wrong with the child." And they found out that in fact there were a few things wrong with the heart. There was a hole in the heart they had not picked up on, and if they'd taken the baby home that day, that baby would no longer have been. And the nurse started running out of the room with tears in her eyes because she realized the severity of the situation. And she runs out into the hallway to find a very tall figure with a white beard. And she says, "Are you a rabbi?" He says, "Ken." And he says, "Please come and give a bracha to this little child." Now, I don't know if Rav Grossman remembers, but Rav Grossman gave the first bracha to my nephew, Yehuda Leib, in Yerushalayim. And my sister to this day is appreciative because that's also when a person like Rav Grossman is able to see bracha in what looks dormant. Rav Grossman is usually in the right place to create bracha when it's needed. And the stories abound about Rav Grossman being in just the right place for thousands upon thousands of individuals. You walk with Rav Grossman in the street, you'll have people just flocking to him who have been touched or affected by him in some way or another. And he was just in the right place at the right time. I cannot tell you what a significant zechus it is for us here today to be able to be learning with and from you, Rebbe. Be'ezrat Hashem, we look forward to hosting you in person and joining you and seeing your brachas and what you've created in Eretz Israel as well. B'chavod Rav, thank you for joining us in our show today.
First of all, thank you, Rabbi. Hashem will keep you Be'ocher Batzlocha, that you keep going in the Kalek, in the Agdil, Torah, B'Adila. You work very hard for the people to give them the feeling for playing and davening. Hashem will keep you Siyata D'Shmaya, and keep going. Bezat Hashem, the Kalek, Am Yisrael, and Torah, like the Kalek, Sakadud Hashem.
Amen.
You thank my very, very, very close friends, Jeff and Sheila Eisenberg. They're so close to us, working very hard for Migdal Ohr, in the Chaim, in any Bushland, in Jeff and Sheila Perling, Stephen Fink. And I understand that Vicky that worked today, Migdal Ohr, also there. Right now in Israel became night. The night is today, 2 Bishvat. In the Mincha, you don't say Tachanu. The bands that is happy, the Simcha, from 2 Bishvat started from Mincha. What is the idea of 2 Bishvat? Mishnah says that 2 Bishvat is Rosh Hashanah Le'ilomus. Rosh Hashanah Le'ilomus. Like we have the regular Rosh Hashanah. What is Rosh Hashanah, the regular Rosh Hashanah? Everybody knows that everything that happened in the whole year depends in Rosh Hashanah. The Rosh Hashanah is Pasebo, and the Yom Kippur is Pasebo. The same idea is to Mishpat for the food. This is the time that God gives again the power to have the food going. And the Torah tells us, Ke'odom eitz hasolas. Every human being is like the tree. The same thing, that if you want to have food from the tree, you need from the beginning, be careful that you bring everything that this tree will give perot. Same thing is here, every Jew. If you want to have nachas in the children of Am Israel, you need to be careful from the beginning. Tanor lana al pi dargoi gam ki yaskin ve'yosu mimenu. If you take the tree, the boy when he's young, if you give him everything what he needs, then you can be sure that with the Ezrat Hashem, you will get food. And this is the role that we're working here with the children. But what is Nogea to us? Take a look at Parshas Bereshit. The Torah tells us that everything is ready. God created the whole world, created the desert to give food. And the Torah says, "V'chol siach hasodet terem yeh b'haaretz." You don't see any food. "V'chol esav hasodet terem yitzchak." You don't see anything. Why? Because God is not who will give rains or geshem.
Right.
Because don't rain. If you have not mind, you have not the rain from the heaven, the food can give you food. Why did God not give the geshem? Because you have not the human being, the order to pray for the geshem. Rashi says, "Ma tam lo yityo." Why is God don't give the rain? Because you have not the order to pray in the order to understand the importance of the food. It means there's a connection between the man and the food. When is God giving you the food? When you ask and you pray and you think. You think. And this is the whole ideas that we make the brachos. Why you make brachos when you eat food? The idea is to thank God that He created the food. Tu B'Shvat is Rosh Hashanah because regular Rosh Hashanah is the day from Kabbalah's own Malchut Shamayim. The Gemara says of Rosh Hashanah, "Imu lefonai Malchus," say to me psukim from Malchus, "Kedei shetamlikuni alechem," that you will take me for king of yourself. The same idea is Tu B'Shvat. Tu B'Shvat, the parents, says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, "I believe that you will give me the power to grow and to have, give the people to what they eat, to make happy the people through the food." It means that in order to have the parents, you need the order, after the true order. You need to pray and to thank God. You know, there's a story that one time, one from the biggest rabbis comes to a place, and before he comes, everybody says the Malach is coming, the angel is coming. Okay, the rabbi comes, he makes ready very food, and the rabbi takes a little food and eat, make a bowl of tea or eggs, and then he gives the people. Everybody left, some boys stay there, and he looks at the rabbi. The rabbi asks, "What, you need something?" He says, "No, Rabbi, I want to understand. Before you come in, everybody says that a Malach is coming. An angel is coming. I know that the angel don't eat. I see that you eat food, and you make before the food the balacha. I also eat food, and I also make a balacha. What is the difference between me and you?" That would ask the rabbi. The rabbi answered, "You stay up in the morning, and you see the food, the beautiful food, and you want to eat, but you're afraid if you will not make a beracha, God will punish you. You will not can eat tomorrow again food. You will be sick or something else. Then you say beracha, but you mean the most important for you that you will be healthy, that you will can eat tomorrow again the food. When I see the food First of all, I don't look of the food. I want to say, Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam Borei Pri Ha'etz. I thank you, God, that you created the earth. But I can't say this if I don't eat. If I don't eat and I say a beracha, this is called beracha levatana. Then I must to eat. And only when I eat, I can make the beracha. It says to this boy, you eat and I eat. You make a beracha and I make a beracha. You make a beracha that you can eat. I eat, you can make a beracha. It means that the difference is what you think. Tu B'Shvat, this Rosh Hashanah, Vayilanot, for the food, is the time to speak to people to be careful when they're making a beracha. Everything what they're taking, because the beracha is thank God. Thinking, take a seed, you put it in the nest. This seed, so if from this seed grew a beautiful tree from food, icon. When you put in this seed in the nest, this seed is a lomatose, almond, bitter. In here, this bitter seed that you put in, you will see a beautiful tree from Perot. Eyes, what is the answer? The answer is that God gives a power in the ground. God gives a power in you. I don't know that if you put in Perot, what you want, then this gives you the Peres. Who gives you the power? The tree is a matok. Speed is the koach HaKadosh. This is Tu B'Shvat. What means Rosh Hashanah? What means Rosh Hashanah? Rosh Hashanah Vayila. Maybe you speak to a human being, Rosh Hashanah, make a cheshbon nefesh, do tshuva. I understand. But the Rosh Hashanah for food, the domain, food is domain. What it means is, remember Tu B'Shvat. This day, God started again to give a power for the food. In this day, remember, Rosh Hashanah, Kamlu Aleichem Ol Malchu Shamayim, Imul Evonai Malchias, that you eat, God give you to eat. What is the idea of eating? That you will have power to walk for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that you will have power to pray and daven. And this is the answer to all of AIDS and souls. I want to tell you, my friends, that Tu B'Shvat is a special Yom Tov holiday for Eretz Israel. Because the whole idea of the Perot, Oretz is a special thing in the Torah. Pharaoh should go to the Oretz, all the dinim, Shmita, the dinim from myself, the whole dinim is only in Pharaoh's from Eretz Israel. Shivas Amini from Eretz Israel. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us this land is not a regular land. It's not America, not Europe. This land is Mokoim Asher Eine Hashem Elokecho Bo V'Reishis Hashono V'Ach Shon. This land is the only land that if we understand the Pharaoh's is over. If you take this Pharaoh's, you need to make myself right now Shmita to give you an idea that you take the Gashmi, physical, to make the physical only. You know, the Gemara says, you have two psukim. One pasuk says, Lashem ha'aretz u'mloa, that the land belongs to God. Second pasuk says, Hashamayim shamayim Lashem. The heaven is for God. The haaretz, in this land, Natan libnei Adam, he gives to the human people. Here you say that Lashem haaretz u'mloa, and here it says, Haaretz Natan libnei Adam. The Gemara answers, Kan livnei brocher, kan achlei bracha. Before you make a beracha, the land belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lashem haaretz u'mloa. He created it. After you make a beracha, what means beracha? That you say with your words that this is created for God, then God says, this time I give you the land for you. Va'aretz natan libnei Adam. The whole idea from a Jew in this world is to take the materialism and make us honest. This is the old nachas that HaKadosh Baruch Hu asks every Jew in everything, especially when we come into Tu Mishpat. We need to put in more mind that everything what you eat is God, because God eats you. This is the role that we put in the Jewish kids here at Migdal Ohr. Started to explain the kids that is ever God in your Jew, and the whole life is not only materialism. Because these old kids, they grew up very, very broken homes, very far homes. They have also Migdal Ohr has what you call a youth group called All Israeli. They have every night more than 6,000 boys and girls, non-religious, that they come. What we speak there, the whole speaking, the whole learning is the explaining that God created Baruch Elokeinu shebra'anu lichvodo. God created you for His honor. What means for His honor? If you take water and you say Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam she'akol niyah b'dvaro, it means that you say to the world, this water is created by God. So focus, not from himself. You take bread, you take tea, the whole idea of the blessing is that you say every day to give honor to God and to tell, I believe that God created every moment this food, because God created this world. Me'ayin le'yesh. What means ma'ayin? Nothing goes before the Creator. God created from nothing the whole world. I tell every time the kids, you see here the lector. The lector here in Migdal Ohr is coming to a big place that called Chedera. Power flag from there. That means if you look here, you see the light. It means the power plant in Chedera is working. If there will be a problem, you have no clear light. The same thing if you take a tree and you see that this can't eat, first of all, you're healthy, you can eat. You have the best to see God. The whole idea to see how to control everything. This is the word from the Jew. Because every Jew is impossible to God. And right now, the time that the children make ready to come in Besmedrash, to have the big party for Tu B'Shvat. Let's look at the kids, they come in right now, dancing in Besimcha for Tu B'Shvat.
Yeah, it's fun.
חברים יקרים, בואו נעלות מכאן, שוב עליו לדבר בגיל. מי שסיים למקום לערבית. מי שקיבל את כל הסרט, תודה. Right now, we're going to start the party on Tu B'Shvat. Because the corona, you can put in all kids together. Every half hour will be another group. We will go through the old kids from Migdal Ohr to give them a feeling for Tu B'Shvat. I want again thank you for your time. All the time, the feeling from Migdal Ohr, the feeling. Rabbi told me, I love you. I pray for you that you will be success. With the all guys together, with the Ezras Hashem. This is the fruit from Am Yisrael. These kids, they the fruit from Am Yisrael. Like when you have the fruit, you need to be careful, do everything. That the big, יש לך פירות, אתה צריך להשקיע בחרישה, בקצירה, בפעילות, שלא יהיה להם מזיקים, שלא יהיה בעיות, ככה זה ילדי ישראל. צריכים לשמור עליהם מקטנות, ואז הם יגדלו לתפארת. אנחנו מגיעים השבוע לפרשת ישראל קבולת ספיר. כשעש השם gives the Torah to Am Yisrael. He says, who give guarantee that he will keep up the Torah? The answer from Am Yisrael is for Neinu Alevi. The children, this is the guarantee. You have partnership with us to keep this aftocha that the parents gives in Maimad Sinai, that Yaldei Israel will learn in Torah and grow up the Shem and the Tiferes Am Yisrael. Locha v'atzlocha v'siyata v'shmaya. Amen v'amen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rabbi Grossman. Toda rabah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harav. And I would like to just say that there's Eino Doima Shmiya L'Re'iyah. When we all get to Israel, the next stop we should make is come to visit the Rav and see what it's like in real life.
We will come and see your eyes and we'll have many nights. that you will hear what they want. אני אגיד להם משבח ואתם תגידו אמן. שם ייתן לכל אלה שנמצאים שם ברכה, בהצלחה, בסייעתא דשמיא, תגידו אמן. אמן.